first game on the list is a well-known title called The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This game is loved by many, and still, even after over 5 years since release, the game is still one of the most played role-playing games out there. Why, you might ask? Well, the reason I believe why is because the game is the most free-roaming adventure RPG out there. This game, which is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, gives you a massive open world with NPCs and quests. Now I mean endless. I think the game is actually endless when it comes to the quest aspect of it. And you are able to do it all at your own pace with almost no restrictions and limitations. At the beginning of Skyrim, after you are done with the tutorial and character creation part of the game, you can instantly say fuck it to the main story. And the main story is good. And you can go and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, you could be a farmer if you want to. And that's why this game is one of my top 5s, because it lets you play it the way you want to. Next. Next on the list is an Xbox classic called Fable. Fable is on this list because not only was it a great open world role-playing game, but it was one of them games that relied heavily on player choices. Like, it has a system in it I like to call the morality system, and from the beginning of the game to the very end, you are presented with choices that some are very small, some are very big, and every choice you made in the game affected your morality. Like, even if it was just killing a chicken, if you killed somebody's chicken, it affected your morality in a bad way. Or let's say you help someone pick a garden or kill some rats. That would affect your morality in a good way. But everything you did in the game had effect on you. And throughout the game, the world, the NPCs, everything would change according to your morality. It wasn't just, oh, the game is about to end, so let's tally up all your points and see if you're a good guy or a bad guy and give you a good or bad ending. No. If you're a dick the whole game, like, shops wouldn't sell you anything. Like, you would go to a town and no one would talk to you if you were that bad of a guy. The game would change that much. If you're a good guy, people would actually walk up and give you gifts. People would be nice to you. People would offer you missions and stuff that you would normally not get if you were a bad guy. And the game done it very well. Actually, the game done it the best, I believe, because I have not seen a game since Fable. Hell, even Fable 3, which was like considered the worst Fable game out there. Each Fable game, in my opinion, is one of the best examples of a role-playing game that made you pay for your actions and actually had a world that changed according to what you did. Because you, like I said, in the game, you are the hero of legend. So you're important. So whatever you do matters. And that's what the game done. And in Fable 3, you're a king. So your actions were really important, and they really made you feel like you done stuff good or bad. Alright, before I ramble on anymore, that's why. This game is very awesome, and it done what it did perfectly. And that's why it's on this list. Next. Third on the list is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3 is one of my most favorite role-playing games, and it's because the game has done something no other RPG has been able to do so well, in my opinion. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of the most massive open worlds I have ever seen, but here's the thing. It is so massive, and gave you so much shit to do, but here's one thing that no RPG has ever done. The game never gets boring. Each quest in this game seems to be hand-tailored and crafted by somebody, because each mission, I don't care how small it is something special on its own. You find this man. He has lost his wife. He tells you to go find his wife. You go into the woods and find out that his wife was murdered by a werewolf. And in the end, you find out that he was the werewolf. But that's not the main point of that story. There's actually a love triangle involved, and there's like all sorts of weird shit going on. But that's why this game is so amazing. It is done so well. And it just gives you story after story after story to the point where even the little side missions feel just as important as the main quest. Now the fourth game on this list is a little bit older and different than the rest of the games I have mentioned, and that game is The Legend of Dragoon. Now this game came out in the 90s for the PS1. It was developed by Sony. It was a turn-based role-playing game like Final Fantasy and all that, but it came out during the same time as Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy has always been the top turn-based games. So it didn't really do that well because it was living in Final Fantasy's shadow, but it was amazing. It's one of my favorite turn-based role-playing games. It's actually one of the only ones I've actually beaten to the very end on my own. The game was good. It had a bunch of unique features to it that made it different from other turn-based games. It had a button-sensitive combat to where each character you played as has combos and attacks, but to do the full attack or full combo, you had a button press. Sometimes very fast, or sometimes at the right moment. Hit X, square, circle at the right moment, triangle. And the game was good. The story was good. The gameplay was good. It was a solid turn-based game. But the reason why it didn't do so well, and the reason why not a lot of people know about it, is, well, it came out in the 90s for PlayStation 1. Back then, Final Fantasy was like the #1 turn-based games. Like, if you were going to get a turn-based RPG, you were more than likely going to get Final Fantasy back then. So the game didn't do that well. But I will tell you, this is one of the most unique and most awesomeness, I don't know if that's a word, turn-based games I've ever played. Last on this list is Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 is the most recent entry in the Final Fantasy series. And coming from me, a person that has never really cared about the Final Fantasy games, this game is good. The game has a good story, the game has good characters, and the game just plays very well in my opinion. But the reason why it's on this list is for one reason, and to tell you that reason, I have to tell you the story, or at least part of it. The story is, you play as Prince Noctis of Lucis on a road trip to marry this girl to stop a war. But on this road trip, you're accompanied by your 3 friends, Ignis, Gladiolus, and Prompto. And you have been friends with these guys since you were a child, pretty much. Alright, you're on the road trip, shit happens, the story changes, it's no longer a road trip to get married, it is now a quest to save the world. And the reason why this game is so good and is on this list is because the game done such a good job at putting you in that circle of friendship between these 4 characters. It puts you down to their level when it came to the hard decisions, when it came to the easy decisions. I mean, during the game, shit happens. I mean, the characters have to swallow their egos. The characters have to make changes to their personalities. Like I said, it's done so well. The dialogue, the situations, the characters just reacting to one another is done so well. You feel like you're a part of their inner circle by the end of the game. And I guarantee you, you'll have such a bond with these characters. By the end of the game, when the game is over, you will cry. You won't think you will, but you will. Because you feel like you're losing your best friends. I'm not going to tell you anything else about the game. The game, I want you to play it. The game is very good. And that's why I'm not telling you much of anything about the story. But like I said, by the end of the game, you will be a part of these guys' clique. And you will be friends with a bunch of digital characters, and you will be sad to see them leave. And that's why this game is on this list, because it's going to pull you in, and it's not going to let you go until the very end. And you're going to be sad that it lets you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just as a little update, I'm still dealing with personal shit, which means pretty much I gotta work if I want to continue doing YouTube, so I'm trying to work my ass off so I can keep doing it. But I will not be able to do much of the regular things I used to do because I can't sit down and game as much as I used to. But these videos right here, I can do these videos, and I enjoy these videos. So if you guys want to see more of these videos, just let me know, and I'll keep doing them until I can get back to my regular scheduled shit. So you guys let me know, and I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Later.